back with a brand new and improved Chemex brew guide video. So first off, development of coffee. Usually it's like light, medium, and dark. Everyone has their different taste profiles of what they like, but there are like limits to where it's like over or under. So today I have 3 different coffees. Some ones are overdeveloped, some are like right in the mix. So we have one from our good friends at FNOS. Medium roast. We're not gonna go into taste right now. All right, we're gonna get into that in a minute. I just want y'all to get a look. Yeah. So then, pretty much very standard medium roast coffee. This is generally what coffee is look like, what you probably see most of the time when we do these videos. Our friends over at Epic or Epoch Chemistries, and their Muzu Giko Hill. And it's a Rwanda. Ooh, okay, it's a Rwanda. All right. I can see these are very similar as far as form of color. Now, what y'all have been waiting for, the big difference in both of these coffees. Yeah. So, Joseph, Mr. Cameraman, out of these coffees, which one do you prefer? Yes.
This bad boy right here. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like more medium. This is, I would say, medium light, you know, for like looking at that spectrum of development. Mm-hmm. It's on the lighter side though. It's definitely lighter than this. Yes. Visually, it's not super easy to tell, but for Rwanda, I think roast development on this, it's light.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any thoughts on
this is overdeveloped. Like that's all there is to it, right? Like when you get coffees that are this oily, they've gone to second crack. All of the kind of nuances that are in coffee have been just extrapolated out of it. And there's really not much you can do to make this not taste burnt when you're brewing it because, well, it is burnt. That's what's happened.
Yes, which don't get me wrong. I've tasted all these coffees now and you might be into this. This is pretty much the standard of what you think coffee tastes like. So your Folgers, your Maxwell House, your Starbucks. I'm going after all the brands on this video. You know, that they're gonna taste like this.
So which one are we gonna brew with?
We got two different profiles. This is pretty much more of my preference. This is a washed.
Yes.
Washed.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2024. New recipes. This is just the 2 of us here today. We're gonna be using 25 grams to a ratio of 14.5. Now you might be asking yourself, why are you using such a small ratio on the Chemex for the experiment? Come on now. 25 grams of the coffee. Now that we got that, we can go ahead and wet the filter for like the traditional way. We're gonna do a weird way in a minute, but for the traditional way, you're gonna hold it up like this, and you're gonna pair that in the center. One side is thicker than the other. The other side is very thin. For this thing, you're gonna wanna form the thicker side where the spout is, like so. All right, so we got the coffee, got the scale, got the wetted filter. Now we're gonna just pour that bad boy in the center. And then we're going to pour the water. Start the timer, and we're gonna keep it traditional. So we're not gonna do any crazy methods. That's it. We're gonna start the bloom. I usually start on the sides. Do a circle of motion into the center. We're gonna let that bloom for about 20 seconds and we're gonna pour again. All right. First general pour, I like to do it very slow. This is our number. So we got this amount of coffee times the ratio, which is 14.5, and poured into 362. That'll be our finished product. Finishing up with our last pour. I'm keeping this pour method pretty standard. keeping it the same way. This is gonna be our control method. So, to note, brew times are gonna be very long. You got this thick filter, you got this very slow process drip, which it looks like it's pretty fast. So your brew times are gonna be about like 6 or 7 minutes. You're using that brew filter board.
What kind of brew temp we've been messing with?
We've been brewing with pretty hot. It's like 98 Celsius.
Almost 6 minutes.
Almost 6 minutes. Look at that.
Oh. Hey, I mean, it's you know, most of it's going in the cup. Hey, there it is. Look at that. Professional.
Man.
Barista.
Man, it's like I do this for a living. Nice. Any thoughts, sir?
Yeah, it's very like, so this is Rwanda. It's very classic Rwanda profile, like super black tea, stone fruity, peachy, bright, mildly acidic. I will say it's interesting. A lot of coffees on Chemex tend to be pretty sour for me. And this one, I would say, is just that. What do you think, Mercury? Mercury, try some.
Yeah, I think it does have like a tartness to it. It's the closest thing to fruit juice that you can find if you're into that. Now we're gonna do something a bit crazy. We're gonna show you how not to use the Chemex. So in a sense, this is like the part where we break the rules. Yeah, this is a breaking the rules video. Yeah, you thought the series was dead. Nah.
Thing about Chemex too, with being kind of under extracted, is that the high brew temperature that we're messing with is kind of favorable because it is such a long brew time. At such a high temperature and a long brew time, it kind of evens out by the end of the brew because it's, 6 minutes with 98 Celsius. By the time you're at the end of the brew, it's like dropped like probably like 10 degrees overall.
For sure. As it cools down, it does mellow out a little bit too.
Yep.
We're gonna break the rules. We're gonna be doing that. You know how I just told y'all to put the big part of the Chemex filter here and the light part here? We're gonna be doing the opposite. We're gonna be doing it on the side.
What?
Like so. Bam. Sideways. Now you got the big part here and the small part here. We're gonna go ahead and wet it. For safety reasons, because I want this method to work, we're gonna wet the filter again, just so it can be a little closer to the sides. For taste, I'm not really sure what this will do, but for like adhesive, all right, same 25 grams. Now we're gonna be doing something a little differently. We're gonna be doing the fan, we're gonna be doing that anti-bloom method, because why not? But we're also gonna be changing the water temperature of this kettle. And we're gonna do it for all 3 pours, using the same number, 25 times 14 to have 362. Now, we're gonna start a timer, and we're gonna pour straight to 100 grams. Yes. All right, we're gonna be using that same filtered water, and we're gonna drop the temp about 10 degrees. All right, now we have 87 degrees Celsius, and we're gonna start the pour once again, straight to 100 grams. Just a little over 100. Now, come here, guys. One more time. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna drop it 10 more degrees, maybe 15. Depending on how much water I just put in. 76, 10 degrees it is.
Perfect.
All right, and for our last pour. So the first 2 pours I did were like really quick, if anyone noticed. For this last pour, we're gonna go right back to that traditional method and pour a little slower, all the way to that 362. Ooh, is everyone ready?
We're ready, Dante.
All right, let's begin. This is holding it better than I thought it would.
What if the filter just like crashed through?
We changed this temperature 3 times. So this might take a little bit longer than the initial 6 minutes that these pours usually take. So we'll just have to wait and see. But while we're waiting to see, you should go over to the Instagram and hit us with a follow and go over to that Patreon. But just check it out. All right? If you like the content over here, you would really like the content over there. You get to talk to us personally, you get personal brew guides, you get all that. Ladies and gentlemen, it did not matter.
Yeah, it's actually faster. That's amazing.
It's
the anti-blue method.
It's the anti-blue method. That's what it is. That's what it is. See, y'all are really sleeping on this anti-blue method if you're not doing it. We're out to try our final brew. Now, what did we learn here today? We learned about roast profile, did a little re-lecture on the Chemex, and we did some little crazy breaking the rule methods that had to do with water temp, anti-bloom. It's anti-bloom. We all know about anti-bloom at this point. We did a slew of different things, stuff that you might want to learn more about. And if you want to learn more about it, you know what to do. You just gotta go in them comments, say you want to know more, and then we'll explain a little more. But to end off, we're gonna taste these. We're gonna see if it's better or worse than before.
Thoughts?
Pretty good. But I think 98 Celsius is a lot to try to like. I mean, because it just tastes hot. All right, this not much really changes as far as temperature, but it is pretty standard for the anti-bloom. All the flavor is on the back end. It's a beautiful. What about you?
Yeah, I like it. I think I agree. It is. I think this coffee, because we changed coffees. We changed to this bad boy from Ethnos for our second brew, and it does have a little bit more development on it. And because of that, I think starting with 98 was probably a little bit too high. I would probably would have started with like 90. And then maybe dropped it like 80 to 70. Probably would have got a little bit more favorable, because there is some of that roast is kind of peeking through at that high of a brew temp. Yeah. But I think otherwise, I think this exact recipe with the previous coffee would have been incredible.
It's actually, I think the opposite for the other one. The very standard traditional method.
Yeah.
Recipe probably would have been better for this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, even if it had used that hot temp. So see, there you go. This is why roast development is important.
It's so true. Yeah. So you got a coffee that's more kind of middle of the road, roast development wise. Maybe try traditional. If you got something that's more on this like light to hyper light, kind of crazy acidic already parameter, then go with something crazy. And that's why we experiment. You're right.
That's why we experiment. Well, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all the things. Hit bell, all the other YouTuber stuff. Thank you guys.
Happy brewing.
Happy brewing.